And off we go. Semi-final number 2. In the left-hand corner of the map, Soup playing as Shenong. In the right-hand corner of the map, we've got Magic playing as Tezcatlipoca. Well, we've already seen one upset. I don't know if you can call it an upset, but we're going to go ahead and call it an upset. What would a second upset even be in this game? Both of these players, Magic and Soup, there's nothing between them at the moment. Magic is one of the GOATs, but has yet to fully find his stride in this tournament thus far. That being said, the games that I've seen him play this week have been incredible. On the flip side, Soup as well has been looking dominating. So, what does that really mean? Where do you go where do you go from there? Who knows? But Shenong versus Tezcatlipoca, not a simple matchup for either side here. Lots of ways things can go wrong. We all know what Soup likes to do. He loves a good power grid, and he does get blessed with a very nice back gold mine here, as well as a Rhino with some Zebra on this left side. So I would not be surprised to see Soup wanting to go for a fast second town center, which might mean that Magic on the flip side here might be looking to try and deny that. That being said, it is going to be a triple Calpooly, livestock pen, lumber outpost, and most likely here the craft workshop, which does mean a later advance for Magic. Let's have a little check of all of the relics as the Archimedes' ledger here, with population usage -1 there for the siege and the Kimetsun. Tusk of the Iron Boar over here for some extra hit points in those cavalry. That's kind of huge for both gods in this matchup. But mostly you want to be keeping that away from Tezcatlipoca, as well as the Oseberg wagon here, plus 10% of movement speed for the caravans. As Soup, well, he picks up his favorite relic first and foremost. Hail of Cerberus. Why is this one of his favorite relics? Well, he just really enjoys using the special abilities of certain myth units. And I'm sure he has he's probably got some good knowledge of which myth units are going to be better to use with that relic. So for one, he's going to have access to potentially the Tautier. He's also got access to the Baihu. He's got access to the Yatsa as well, which can be nice with that extra special usage. As Soup does check out this relic, does see Tusk of the Iron Boar, and he goes, thank God I found that one. Very important. It doesn't... No Tao Wu, yeah, that's missing. So no 10-pin bowling, but nonetheless. As Magic here, he is going to be going up through Huehue, Coyotl. And we will see the Shenong farms getting stolen away, as I wouldn't be surprised to see some fairly early farms getting dropped down from the side of Magic. But up comes the town center for Soup. Pretty quick. Not the fastest you can get. You can go to Kwafu and get that town center started faster, but there's not really a huge need to do it. And I think Soup just wants what he can get here, as in comes the warrior priest, going to start beating away at these, and the wood is there for the Shenong's farms, as the warrior priest is going to start beating away at actually the Shenong farms here. But I'm pretty sure the settlement will be finished in time, and those warrior priests are going to need to get away from here. As Magic goes, all right, can't stop the town center. Let's look for some other damage. In fact, as soon as the Shenong farms get dropped down there, you really should be relocating and trying to find villages in the main base, specifically trying to take out the villages on Hunt. As Magic says, all right, I'll try and kill off the silo. Behind all of this, he's going to go... Oh, that's not a town center, actually, from Magic. He's dropping a Calpooly over onto this side. No town center from Magic. He might be looking for a fast heroic, which seems like a good idea, unless you scout your backside and you see that gold mine, or your opponent's backside, that's going to be tough to kill. Military camp going to get dropped down as this temple over here getting targeted. And of course, Soup, he doesn't like playing. He doesn't like playing for safety. He goes full greed, and that's it. Always greed is the Soup way of playing this game. That temple is very much out in the open, can very much get stolen, and I think Magic killing the temple here would be huge. What is this Rhino doing over here? Oh, 2 HP there. I think it gets healed when it walks back and sits on the... No, never mind, not with a silo there, it won't. Over onto this side, Magic looking for villagers to pick off. Soup, very much on his game at the moment. Playing defense as those warrior priests are going to continue to pump out here. Behind this, it kind of looks like Soup is... No, he's not going to the heroic age. I was going to say he's trying to create out a heroic age, but that's not... It's not what's going on. Just getting more Dows slowly. It's a handful of Dows plus those Pioneers will be enough. Here into the main base comes this Yahtzee. As the garrison micro from Magic, more than enough. This has not really done any damage here. Just tiny bits of idle time. As the Yahtzee dives into his death. Poor guy. The one thing you want to be doing with that Yahtzee is turning off the special ability. You want to turn off the special ability. Some more Shenong farms get dropped down into the main base. And I could be wrong, but it does look like a potential heroic age is now going to be on the way for Soup as well. Which, he's still getting out more Dows, but this is somewhat scary because Magic is going to, with this amount of warrior priests, he's going to be able to walk forward, drop a great temple here, and there should be very little recourse that Magic has to do anything where that's concerned. As this wall over here gets spotted, that's going to go down. And Soup will have to pull back ever so slightly. The Pioneer's desperately trying to get damage done. These guys move so fast. 5.5 speed. Warrior priests. A pain for sure. Could be a wall getting dropped here potentially, right? Just to lock that off so that warrior priests can't get onto this side, but not going to be happening as the Kwafu happily turn around, throw those boulders. Over onto this side. You get another Kwafu here. Town Center will get a little bit of damage done as Magic not able to get the damage, but he does get some idle time, and idle time is always worth it. As I have to imagine this is going to be Rusho here. Okay, there we go. I would be very, very surprised to see anything other than Rusho. But that being said, to some degree, it makes sense to go for New Bar with the idea to prevent the Great Temple from finishing. Give yourself a little bit more time. You drop that once it's at like the Great Temple's at like 80% finished. Wherever it's building, you drop the drought down. It stops it from being built, and you get a little bit more time. But nonetheless, Magic up to the heroic age, getting himself his Great Temple, 28 villages to 51. There is such a gigantic amount of income in for Soup at the moment. I'd love to see walls set up here, walls set up over here, and just start locking the map up. Otherwise, this all-in is going to be so brutal as in comes the Sensen, Huitsnahua, as well as the... What's it called? The stone? Hoyal Zhaokui stone. That's in, and this means Levy Great Temple Soldiers comes in quickly for very cheap. Heavy Great Temple Soldiers comes in for very cheap. Tepia Yolotl's Reach comes in very cheap. And the Jaguar Riders will be on the way. But in now comes Master of Weaponry, Halberdier, lots of Pioneers. I'd also love to see the Imperial Academy up, which is now building, so access to both Sages and the Jiangxia to deal with the free Tsitsamiddles that are going to be coming around, getting value all over the place. In comes the Warrior Priest again, getting tiny little bits of damage, tiny little bits of pressure. This one hero, Halberdier, seeing what it can do as the Jaguar Riders coming in. And of course, behind this, Soup should be thinking to stop the Kwafu numbers because he needs to get these technologies as well in. Magic is already going to have himself some power here. He's also going for the Atonton smashes right away rather than going into an answer for all of that other good stuff. But there goes the Starfall, and Magic will drop both of his myth units there. Pulls out, takes a bit of damage. Where did the heroes go? Yeah, right over onto this spot as the Warrior Priests get that surround in. One sits the middle, goes down. Lullaby gets dropped. So now there's access to a lightning weapons, which is somewhat scary. In comes the Fey Beast there as the answer for just a couple of Jaguar Riders to just give a little bit of support here, as this Obsidian Shard is going to be getting denied and no Fey Beast remaining. That's a big win for Magic, but, well, Soup now, he's walled up over here. He's walled up over here. There is an entrance in onto this side to get in onto the back line. So the entirety of Soup's base isn't quite yet protected. But now there is a lightning weapons for a big fight coming up. And the economy of Soup isn't getting any smaller. He's getting his upgrades through Gilded Shields as the first option here. Is a little on the strange side, as we do have the Great Temple into the middle getting built up, and Soup feels like he is ready to look for some actual fighting here. I don't think he needs to. One of the things about playing versus the Aztec you got to keep in the back of your mind is it's the same as playing against every other Sith. If they're sitting 1 TC, you got to be patient on your 2 TC, and you let the villager differential give you all the tech, all the unit quality, and all the advantage. Somewhat just sitting there doing nothing is, in essence, doing something. Because now in comes the Peach of Immortality. There's just so many Warrior Priests in for Magic. He's sneaking in onto this side. What can he do with those Warrior Priests? Does this get spotted by Soup? It does not. What a move from Magic. But there's a bow layup on the backside there. There's little bits of fights to come in onto this spot. There are 10 heavy Sean ones. Going to be tough. As the ballet here spots this. The Kwafu on this side, they need to pay attention here. And Magic gets around, will get some damage done, picks up a peasant or two. Also, there's going to be the Tajipla coming in, as Magic needs to pull back here and look for some actual defense. But is there crenellations in? Yes, there is. So all of these units running through the main base are going to take a lot of damage. And onto the front, Magic sees his opportunity to get something happening here as the Baihu dives into its death. With the Warrior Priests, they're out of here. The Tajipla, that's down. And Magic back and forth here with his army, not really able to find the fight just yet. The Tauntaun Smashers will break through over onto this side as Soup, well, he's going to take the fight. There goes the lightning weapons, and all of those Tauntaun Smashers are going to get stunned up as they will not be able to escape. And Magic pulls back. He is so far behind on economy now, but he is still equal on military diff. Onto the front, another ballet for Soup, as slow and steady. Like I said, slowly get more map control. You're in a good spot. Into the main base, however, comes those Jaguar Riders. And you see the back position here to put some pressure on, but Soup has to be paying attention there. He can just simply run into the ballet. It's not a big issue. Set himself up onto the front there. And maybe even look to push forward here while the Jaguar Riders are not in position. And Qinglong actually comes in for free there to help defend this, which might be enough. A couple of halberdiers do get brought back on the defense. As Magic will be able to pick off a couple of Kwafu here, I think, as Soup is just getting tired of dealing with it all. In comes the special, and all the Jaguar riders die on the front, but now the halberdiers aren't here to support, as this army of majority Sean ones is going to be difficult to deal with. You have to micro this really, really well, and there's no lightning weapons at the moment for Soup. But Magic, underneath the ballet without the siege, that's a tough fight there as well. As the front of this army, all being halberdiers, is kind of looking a little bit suspect for Soup now. He does have a pretty nice amount of heavy fire archers, as Soup, he is now on to the Mythic Age through Huangdi. He's got his next gold mine sorted out. Magic as well. He's going Mythic Age through Xolotl, which, if I remember correctly, gives the soul guides, but also gives that very, very strange god power, which, if you sit inside and you take the fight, you basically everything, you just can't sit inside of the big death arena. Otherwise, you just lose everything. I don't think any advantage of an army can win those sorts of fights. Ball's coming up over onto this side as Soup now getting himself what I would consider the more important of the two upgrades in this matchup, Divine Judgment. That's on the way. Still no axe, no real teching into the Eagle Warriors here from Magic is a bit of an interesting decision. Now, Magic's still not going for a town center, just shows what his game plan is. I wouldn't be surprised to see him find 3 turkeys, sacrifice into the Great Temple, and then a mass sack to just try and break through and get the gold starve right in there. But look at the resources for Soup. Look at the armory upgrades for Soup. He's got so much stuff. More military buildings going down. He's got 9 military camps, 6 workshops. And he's got the stone gates as well. He can go up to the next one if he wants. As there goes the new fire ceremony. And how many villagers get sacked here is the question. 9. There's enough favor for another Starfall or a Lullaby. As in comes the Jaguar Riders looking for damage over onto the bottom side. Halberdiers get brought back. Mythic Age is now in for Magic. But a town center number 3 is up for Soup. And he's onto this gold mine here. As all the upgrades in the world are going to be coming in. Imperial orders to make sure all of his units are dirt cheap. Armory upgrades to boot. Favor is in there as well to get something like Leiju's Silk in too. As the Tejupla, Tezcatlipoca Incarnate gets dropped down. And there goes the Lullaby Corrupted Ground combo. And Soup, he can run here. He's not running. His army is getting erased at the moment, but so too is this Zhu Chu getting mad value in the middle. I said you can't sit in the death arena, but apparently, nope, you can't. But both players drop down to nearly no military numbers, and Magic here, well, he's got some units coming in. The Jaguar Riders hitting over onto this side. The military is getting spammed out by Soup for the moment. As over onto this side, huge damage coming in from the Jaguar Riders. Is there enough stuff here from Magic to keep this fight going? As the Halberdiers charging forward onto this side. These guys that I cannot pronounce the name of them, they are falling. And Magic's massive push seemingly has been thwarted here. One soul guide is going to be coming in, but Soup is already back up to 160 pop. Up to the top side, Jaguar Riders picking off villagers here. Over onto this side as well, has to be the next port of call for the Magic raiding force. Soup feels that one as he's going to get out of here. He's still got this gold mine on this spot for at least 2,000 more gold. Jiangxi are going to be coming back in, and Magic, he needs to start thinking about a town center or something here. Myth units on this side are going to be incredibly powerful for Magic. These soul guides are so strong. It's well worth it to get that technology, and I don't even know what it's called. but it does make them very, very powerful to basically mummies to some degree as the Halberdiers are back in to defend. The Jaguar Riders coming up onto the top side. Magic is desperately trying to find his value as the Jaguar Riders jump in, and that does make the Halberdiers a little bit confused about what's going on. The Magic continuing to try and find value on his push forward. In comes Wenzhong, however, and that's going to be a beautiful help for Soup in these fights moving forward, because he can steal one of those Soul Guides away, and then he can use the Soul Guide to actually get himself his own boosted units as well. I'm not sure what Wenzhong is doing, but he does steal it. The Star Demon sits in the middle there and does lose that one as the Star Demon sits in the middle, dies, and that will be another Myth unit coming back momentarily. And there it comes. Torch of Misfortune. There you go. That's what it's called. There's more Halberdiers on the way as Magic continuing to take this fight. Now comes Lightning Weapons number 2. And in comes Lullaby number 2 as the response. But Soup here, he can just keep spamming units. He's still got plenty of resources. He does get Fire Archer, Halberdier, but it's also Fire Archer, Halberdier, and Hero necessary. Yangtze is by himself is not going to cut it. Funnily enough, it doesn't matter that Magic doesn't have economy. If he's got Soul Guides here, maybe it does matter. Maybe he needs a little bit of economy. As he gets pushed back ever so slightly. Dow Swordsman coming in, and the Axe Cart is actually the answer for Obsidian Shards there as well. As game 1 is in the books, and Soup, looking terrifying on this Shenong, says, says Catlapoca, well, we can deal with that easily. Magic could not find the value with his early game Warrior Priest shenanigans. Probably could have thought about going into a town center a little bit later. The way that you look at these sort of timings, you got to be thinking being a little bit behind on the economy versus Shenong. That's fine. Maybe a 2TC version of this could have been a more appropriate type of idea. Half the Warrior Priest running around doing pressure while putting the town center up could have been another thought, but such a defensive Giza map, and Soup takes that to the bank as he takes game number 1 here. All right, guys, let's jump back over to the draft and see what game number 2 is going to be bringing us. Game number 2 is on the map Budapest, everyone's favorite. And it's going to be the classic Kronos versus Zeus. Now, the big question is going to be, what sort of Kronos are we going to see from Soup? Does he go into mass Prometheans here? Does he go into mass automatons here? Does he go for a huge economic approach with Theft of Fire citizen heroization? Does he go for a rush? Magic on Zeus, this is kind of one of his comfort picks to some degree. It's a god that he's had a huge amount of success with throughout the years. And yeah, with that huge amount of success, you know, comes a lot of just nerves getting removed. So I think Magic is going to be very, very happy here with his Zeus, regardless of the fact that he's up against a tyrant in Kronos. Let's jump into Budapest, though, and see which way Soup is going to take this one. And off we go into the right side of the map. We got the Kronos from Soup. And in the left side of the map, we have the Zeus from Magic. As, of course, the back dock comes down here from Soup. And I imagine he will also drop a mana down and get his power dock spammaging happening. Now, one thing that Soup can do is drop a deconstruction on this side after that villager moves away. There is already a bolt that's been dropped down, and I think that was on an oracle. Yes, it has. As the villager will chase this oracle down, the Katuska boss is saying, excuse you, you may not sit on this position. As some insane control from Magic here with that Katuska boss. Oh, and he gets it stuck. It's absolutely stuck here. Oh, no, never mind. It's back out again. To be honest, I would have just left it there and killed it off with the Katuska boss, but the villager will continue to chase this down, and that's going to be 2 early game kills. 4, 3, 2 early game oracle kills for Magic in this affair, but it's a lot of idle time on this villager. So when you think about it, the villager here has not gathered any resources for 2 minutes. We'll just wait. It's going to be, this is the first villager that came out. So I'll tell you exactly how many resources this villager has lost out on, and whether or not you think it's been worth it to go for that oracle kill or not. It's looking like it's going to be about 170 seconds. 170 seconds of idle time for that villager. Now, of course, the dock went up. That would have been finished in about 1 minute. So take off 60, 110 resources lost on that villager for 100 resource oracle. Kind of a fair trade. Kind of a fair trade. Now, Soup getting his temple up. He does have his dock up to the top side here. Getting those fishing ships in. As behind all this, temple now coming up for Magic in his main base. He's getting all the fish onto this side. And for the moment here, it looks like a fairly friendly situation here. Now, Soup is back over onto this left side, and he probably wants to scout everything, but a deconstruction going down over here would cause some pretty significant issues for Magic. But now in comes the Prometheus. Citizens moving to the left, moving to the right. And the temple does get brought in right in the face of this Katuska boss, and he says, I don't care. We are going to be attacking this position. This is going to be a dangerous position for a temple to be in, and Hermes is going to be the option for Magic, as he says ceasefire, potential center, and the stronger Hippias is going to be more value against Kronos than Athena here. Now, the thing is here for Magic is he kind of has to put up 3 docks on this spot. Otherwise, this one's going to get deconstructed. This one's going to get beaten down. Dock now getting time shifted onto this position as well. 2 docks getting time shifted onto this position. As in comes the Prometheans. In comes the Jason as well to say hello there. And, well, Magic defends that perfectly fine and reasonable. Onto this top side. Siege Breams are going to be on the way as the Oracle Hero gets sent packing. And there's that 3rd dock for Magic. The Centaur is now out onto the map. Counter barracks coming down. Military barracks in. Making some hero Terma to deal with the Centaur is a little bit of feels bad. That's the damage coming in. Of course, this will be valorized by... Yes, it will be valorized by Soup there. And Magic very much aware of that fact. Simply just going to run away. Bullreg. What is this Oracle doing? Onto safety. So over onto this side, in comes the Pentaconta, and you can very easily garrison a fishing ship to actually deal with one lone Pentaconta here, especially with a Bareem as well. As the hero Mamilo gets sent back, and the damage now coming in onto this forward gold mine of Soup is going to be a little bit brutal. Got to make sure he hits the right villager with this Valor, and he does manage to do so. Pulls it back, charges forward. Terma gets taken out in the main base there as the Centaur will simply just pull away. Deconstruction onto this position as the Pentaconta goes down. And this top dock is cleaned up. And I think that's going to be somewhat advantage now for Soup on the right side. But Magic's got the left side already dealt with. So we'll see a Trireme coming in as one Promethean. It's not going to be too big of an issue there. Citizen goes down though as this Centaur is getting some very, very big value in this game. Still no... Now there's the Kyra Ballister. I was about to say still no Kyra Ballister in from Magic. From Soup. Has to be somewhat of a mistake here, but gets that in. Military barracks coming up. Mana coming down. Another counter barracks on the way as the Promethean... Well, at the very least, shoo away the Centaur for a little bit here. As now in comes the Kyra Ballister, and that's going to put a stop to any of this hoplite pressure for the time being. Promethean versus Trireme there as the Siege Bareems and fire ships coming through. And we'll see Alluvial Clay as well from Soup, but he does need to be thinking about getting some more oracles in if he does want to go that way. It's only got 2, and that does slow you down quite a bit as the Kronos in this situation. As the Pentacontas coming in. Soup going to keep on putting that pressure on as the Hoplites will be getting some damage here. But Fire, the thing is, when you play Atlantean, defending your water is so much easier because the fire ships have got 6 range. So they can actually get plenty of damage done and at least trade something for the dock. And then, of course, you'll see another dock coming up here from Soup momentarily, and he'll just time shift it over. As the dock actually gets left with 64 HP and a Dream. Over onto this side, though, Soup. Full pressure. Magic pulling his Pentaconta back underneath the docks here as Can Soup deal with all of this in onto this position? He does get attacked. A couple of oracles here getting left for dead as Soup tried to get them out, but built 2. 1 down. The other one survives. But he does win this left water for the time being as well. He's in onto this position. Soup not paying attention. He walks forward with those Kyra Ballister. This is devastating because the Hoplites can take them out really, really quickly. As well as the the Heracles on the back. And Soup throws a huge amount of units away there. Kyra Ballister falls. That's brutal. Big, big win from Magic. But a couple more Kyra Ballister are on the way. And this time Magic respects them. Pulls back. And the hero Mamilo onto the back. Slowly trying to take out the Centaur here. Picks off one. Going after the next one there. But he gets out of that spot for the time being. And a town center actually from Magic here. That is incredibly offbeat. Very, very strange town center timing, but I think Magic feels like he's put Soup in to a bit of a difficult position. Kyra Ballister don't really do a whole lot. Dock now down. Can't really push with Kyra Ballister, because they'll get caught out. There's not a whole lot of oracles in. Temple getting pulled back into the main base for the moment here. So why not drop a town center and start playing on the defense? Magic could probably go to 3 town centers here if he really wants to. Would be a little bit crazy, but it might be fine. Yeah, we've got deconstruction over onto this side as this right side of the water gets dealt with. The dock over onto this spot is up for Soup, so he's still got his fishing ships working hard for him. And it will be a 3rd town center for Magic. Centaur searching for oracles all over the place. And a very, very strange mid-game about to happen as, well, Soup, he's got to get some information and he's going to send that Murmillo forward. He can't quite see the settlement on the left, on the right side there with his Bareem and everything else. And obviously he's not going to see this town center unless he actually goes there. Is the Centaur coming in, getting more citizen kills? Murmillo just happily wandering through here. Hasn't seen anything. Sees all the villagers on food, but somehow Magic has gone 3 town centers. Going heroic age at the moment. And putting some good pressure on. But now Magic throwing away those hoplites. Zakara Ballister are getting some fantastic revenge fire there. We do see Soup accurately reading the situation. Puts his own town center up, but he's still behind on the town center situation, even though he is in front on potential fishing ship situations here. As the Murmillo spots this town center, but not the other one. Behind this, Rhea versus Dionysus. The armory is up for Soup now. I mean, you can kind of see just how far ahead Magic got by Soup getting caught out with that tiny army, with that army of Karaballister. 2 town centers, a heroic age first, and only behind by 1,100 military resources. That's a big deal. Into the main base, though, the Centaur are coming yet again. Good reactions from Soup, but he can't really afford to have idle time at this point in the game. Now, the one saving grace here for Soup is he is able to actually build fishing ships, which technically puts him at, I guess, 3 town centers, 4 town centers for about a minute. And he can get in a whole bunch of oracles if he wants to. This one Centaur ends up falling here. And the question is going to be, will we see the Hydra get deleted again? This is something that Magic likes to do. Town center over onto this side, however, does get caught out. Magic here with the micro on the hoplite. Fancy feat. In comes the Hydra. It gets traded before Magic can delete it. Now it gets bolted. As the Behemoth going to attempt to come over here. Units coming up from Soup as well. The town center ends up falling, and I'm sure Magic will just simply say, goodbye, I'm out of here. But the Hippias charging it onto this backside. There's Peltast in as well. As in comes the Murmillos to try and deal with those Hippias here. No control from Soup with those Karabalisters. They need to focus down the Hypaspis and everything else. We have got the Behemoth coming through. I mean, you've only really got a couple of half-decent options here with those Behemoths. It's either you face tank or you just take all the damage. As the Soup army is not able to compete with this Zeus army at the moment. Behind this, Magic, huge army, 170 of 205 pop. Citizens falling left, right, and center. And I don't think Soup has got enough stuff going anymore in this game. He has fallen too far behind. He's got so many resources in the bank after all of that as well, but he is in a very, very tough position. And I think that Magic is well and truly in the lead. 78 villagers to 34. No, I don't think he's in the lead. Okay. Mythic Age options for Magic can come in. He's still got bronze. He's still got a ceasefire if need be. In comes heavy infantry as well as shaft mine. More Murmillos on the way from Soup. But full Murmillo into effectively full Hypaspist. That is not a good idea. The back line gets immediately sniped by those Peltas, but this many Peltas is also not a good idea, but it doesn't matter, as the advantage is just way too big for Magic as he dominates that rear Murmillo army over onto this side, spots the villagers on the gold mine, pushing off that gold mine hurts even more as you don't have an option. Really, I mean, he could move into his mate. No, he's got no citizens close to the bottom side. There goes the bronze, and well, there's not much more for Soup to do here as he does end up tapping out. And Magic shows off that Zeus, shows off that comfort pick. Yet again, this was an incredibly well-played game from Magic. Pressure from the start to the end. And he caught Soup out one time. And one time is really all you need. Of course, he picked off citizens along the way, but he caught Soup out one time. And it was this one moment right here. Wait, was it here? He was right here. And Soup just lost a huge amount of momentum on that moment. And from there, Magic kind of took a risk, kind of took a gamble that Soup would continue to build Karaballister, and he did. Karaballister are a defensive unit. Hard to play offense. And even inside of that, Soup didn't get the read that it was a 3 town center movement. And he just couldn't bring it back. But 1-1. We got ourselves a series here, ladies and gentlemen. We were talking about it's either going to be a 3-0 or it's going to be a 3-2. We'll see how close that prediction is. Let's jump back to the drafting menu and see what they're going to pick for game number 3. Alrighty, our next map is going to be on Ghost Lake, it looks like. And it's going to be everyone's favorite Chinese mirror, Nuwa versus Fuxi. All right. Well, there is well and truly room here for Soup to play off script in this matchup. It's a really, really difficult matchup. Actually, you know, it's not that difficult, but it can get... Actually, excuse me. I am looking at this incorrectly. I'm not looking at this incorrectly. I have the players the wrong way around. This is a somewhat difficult to understand matchup for the Nuwa side of things. The idea is, you know, in the back of your mind, you have plus 10% HP on Cav, and Tiger Cav are the most premium unit that you have access to. And there is no way for the Fuxi to go and match up with your Tiger Cav at 235 pop versus 235 pop. So if we get into an equal position in the late game, it's not going to be possible for the Fuxi to find a win. That being said, all the timing is on the Fuxi's side, and getting to that equal position is very, very difficult to do. Options of randomness do exist. For example, New Bar. We've seen this before. There are some really cool, fast, heroic ideas into Siege with New Bar to take out a town center while the opponent is power greeting for the heroic age. Alternatively, you can play this a very different way as Nuwa and take away the timing advantage, but you lose your late game advantage. What do I mean by that? I mean, go rush ult, have access to Super Halberdier, have access to the Dow Swordsman, and go for a Zhurong Mythic Age angle. That could work as well. Well, we'll see which way they want to go. It could be very interesting. Let's jump into Ghost Lake and check it out. And into game number 3. Dead even. Nothing between these two players. Right side of the map, Soup as Nuwa. Left side of the map, Magic as Fushi. Let's check out the relics. Sometimes these can be incredibly impactful in the mirror. Dwarven Horseshoes is one of those impactful relics. An extra 5% speed gives you all of the initiative, all of the advantage in this matchup inside of White Horse Cav. It's not going to matter a super amount with the Tiger Cav, but with White Horse Cav, it will. Over onto this side, we have the Sharon's Obel. Up to the top, we have Zhui Coatl. Not the most impactful of relic, but I mean, there is one interesting interaction between the Qinglong and the Zhu Chu, which this would help with. If it ends up happening, we can talk about it, but Trojan Gate Hinge is the final relic here. I think this infects the Earth Wall, doesn't it? I think it affects the Earth Wall. Anyways, a nice and fast temple coming up here for Soup, as well as the immediate Kwafu Chieftain. On the other side, Magic does already have his second Kwafu out. So a slight villager lead before Soup will take that back with the Kwafu Chieftain. Let's have a quick look at what has been scouted. Magic here, unfortunately for him, missing out on that Dwarven Horseshoes. On the other side, Soup, well, he's checking things out, and we actually see Soup going for something very different. This is not what we normally see in the Chinese mirror, and I like it. This is my type of play. It's gonna be Zhuan Nu. Zhuan Nu. I love this. I love this god. There's so much trickery you can do with Vanish. But there's also some amazing text inside of this, from divine books to reincarnation. It'd be really, really big. On the flip side, it gives you an answer versus the lightning weapons from Qi Yao. Gives you an answer versus basically getting caught out by the halberdiers and things like that. As we do see over onto this side, a relic has been spotted. Soup has his eyes on it. Magic still hasn't spotted it, and unfortunately for Magic here, he's now not only going to be behind in 10% HP on the Cav, he's also going to be behind. Uh-oh. Okay, never mind. He's also, I thought he was going to miss that. He's also going to be behind 5% in speed on the Cav there, as up onto the top side, we will see the settlement coming down from Soup, and he will be ready to go. Now the question here is going to be, what is Magic going to be going for? Magic up to the top, it's going to be a town center. So no crazy aggressive Fushi nonsense here. No adaptation to the Zhuan Nu. But Yatsa and Chillin into the middle here. I'm not sure who wins this fight. I think the Yatsa might win it. Yeah, the Yatsa without question does, because this guy can heal up. Attempt to run away for the time being. Does have the speed advantage. Oh no, they're equal on speed, but this will have a special ability back up. You do have to use it in front. Otherwise, it's not going to be working there, and Magic knows that. A big win on that fight does mean he's going to be able to put some early pressure over to here. As where are the Magic Pioneers? No, the Soup Pioneers. One military camp coming up onto this side. As in comes the Yahtzee. It's going to be a dead villager there. First blood drawn. Might be worth it to actually vanish this, because that's a lot of damage done. Back up onto the Caribou for the time being. As the Clay Peasants are going to try and finish off this military camp. They will be able to do so. Pioneer shooting down the archers. That gets pulled back, but both players are just in full boom Aruni shenanigans here. As a Javelineer will come through, and yeah, those Pioneers are out of there. And unfortunately for Soup, he loses out a lot on the resources from those Clay Peasants being idle for the end. And those are resources he's not going to be able to get back. Whereas Soup is going to be holding on to this Peach Blossom Spring for a long time. And you can get a lot more value out of that Peach Blossom Spring than you can from 4 Clay Peasants. As in comes the Javelineer and Pioneer shenanigans. Magic's actually going in for some Dow Swordsmen to put some pressure onto this position. See more military camps coming up. As this is a very, very strange Chinese mirror, and I can't say that I'm unhappy about it. A handful of Dow Swordsmen to push off of this hunt. It's amazing what happens when Earth Wall is not a part of the situation. Great control from Magic, because he's going to be dodging those projectiles there. Never mind, it goes down onto this top side. The Dow Swordsman chasing things away. Who's a Javelineer versus Dow Swordsman? It's not much of a fight there, as the Dow get onto the Javelineers, and Soup will say, I will pull back for the time being, no problems. The issue here is if you do go into infantry as Fushi, you don't have rush ult. So you don't have access to simply stay going infantry and then match up versus the more powerful infantry of Noir. So this is very, very, very strange where this is going. Now, of course, what Magic can do is just say, I am baiting in a big response from the Noir, and from there, we'll sort some stuff out. That's the 43 HP Yahtzee searching for blood. It's the Dow Swordsman numbers from Soup are looking like he's going to be winning on this position, pushing Magic back as Magic gets pushed up for the food and some revenge damage done. No villager kills though, but idle time forced, and at the very least, a little bit of the Caribou not going to be able to get grabbed. As the Peasants moving up to the top side. That's even more idle time force from Soup. He's also going to grab himself this very all-important reincarnation technology, of which Magic doesn't have access to, obviously. No Zhuan Nu there. So reincarnation to come through means any lost units will contribute to coming back. You lose 5 Dows, you get 1 back. You lose 5 Javelineers, you get 1 back. That's kind of like a 20% off. Lose 5, get 1 free. It's the military camp of Magic. Getting targeted down here. Soup charging forward. Picking off villagers yet again. And Magic is just in a tough position now because he doesn't have any food income. He might have to jump onto this or eat his goats or something like that in his main base. He could bring the goats from this side over to here and be fine there, but he's now going into a huge amount of Javelineers. Both players are actually. It's very, very strange. I'm going to keep saying it. This is a very, very strange game we're watching. Does Soup have Divine Books? Nope. Technically speaking, grabbing Divine Books and then utilizing the attachment is a little bit cheaper than not, but does cut into your favor. And it's always something you can grab later anyways, as more Javelineer are on the way, and we will be seeing Gormang coming through for Magic now. And Magic gets his Heroic Age off. He managed to get up onto his berry bushes here. As the Dow Swordsman charging forward. Behind all of this, Super's... I don't know if he's kind of not got the read on the situation or if he is actually planning to do the Rushall, Zhurong kind of noir game plan here. And of course, the walls are going to get up for Magic, and I have to imagine that Magic is going to go into White Horse Cav here. Makes the most sense. This Yatsu is just chilling around here, making sure this town center is not getting grabbed, and Magic will take the opportunity to say, okay, we're Heroic Age. Let's grab our third town center. As the villagers will get pulled off, putting all the walls up. I like that move. It's always better to just get the stuff done and then get back to work. It's better than taking the risk and losing units. Now, taking a look at the vision here. Yatsu's just constantly scouting. We do have those Sky Lanterns checking things out here as the Tower Wu is in. And behind this, we don't see anything fun from Soup. He's going Gourmand here. I do think the idea of going Rushall does make some sense, but into the main base is coming a little bit of a raiding force, and Magic forces Soup out of there. But now his units are in a little bit of a tricky position, though. A little bit of a dukage, though. Soup literally sees that. So no issues there from Magic. And the fact that Magic's managed to get himself this third town center at this point, super offbeat. But Soup isn't checking for it, so this is going to be a pretty big economic advantage for Magic moving forward. And behind this, we've got the Ballistics, and White Horse Cav will be on the way now. As Soup's base is incredibly open here. You can get raided here, you can get raided here. You can get raided. I guess it's not that open. Villagers back onto the herdables. Main base getting targeted down. There is this Dwarven Horseshoes and Sharon Oble, but there's no heroes to pick it up. He picks off the temple, and I'm sure Soup was gonna take his relics back, put them back to work, and go from there. The one advantage I think that Soup has here is a ballet number 2. 2 ballets going up. The one advantage that Soup has here is the fact that he can kind of go to the Mythic Age very, very quickly here. And this town center on the left will give an economic advantage, but it takes a while to pay itself off as the ballet gets up. And the villagers will pull back. Getting some Vil picks here is kind of huge. And we do see Gong Gong as they got a choice there from Soup. He loves his power greed more than most. He is off to the races there. But the White Horse Cav, they are on a tear with villager picks. Because this is what happens when you go for these Mythic Ages while under pressure. Main town center under attack while this is all going on as well. This is the town center that matters. Magic knows this. Putting pressure on all the units up onto the top. Now, White Horse Cav back in onto this position. Is there any heroes? We got the Jiangxia coming in. That is in close to defend. And I guess Soup can pull over and repair this, keeping it all alive as a Kwafu does go down, and Magic's pressure looking very, very difficult to deal with here. Another house coming in as Huang Di now on the way, and behind all this, we are now seeing the tree getting taken. I think it would have been at about 1,500 resources, so a significant boost to get Magic to that point. Now Magic needs to be thinking, I've done enough damage, let's secure this town center. Ballet over here, and if you can get that advantage, the difference in HP on the Tiger Cav in the Tiger Cav fight will not matter. That being said, we are seeing Huang Di here from Magic instead of going for Gong Gong. This kind of helps out everything. Gong Gong is a little bit more powerful with Last Stand, but Huang Di does give that Leiju Silk, which also affects the Tiger Cav. How many farms does Soup have? He's up to 20 farms now, and he's got himself 13 villages on herdables in the main base. So I think he is pretty much good to go with spamming out Tiger Cav here. Soup charges forward with his army onto this spot. Does pay attention. He gets that attack move in. I mean, do you want to use your Great Flood on this? I don't think so. Magic pulls his Wuzu Javelineer forward, trying to take out the heroes on the back there. Getting as much value as he can. In comes now the White Horse Cavalry. But I mean, to some degree, Soup almost wants to sacrifice all of these units, right? They're not part of his game plan. He wants Qinglong, he wants Tiger Cav, and that's it. And Magic actually fighting this. Like I said, I think this is fine to just take these trades. Not a problem. In comes the Yinglong to deal with the White Horse Cav at the top. They will simply just retreat. And now it is a bit of an interesting situation that we're in. Militarily speaking, Magic is in front, but the Tiger Cav timing is in for Soup. He's just behind on eco is the only issue. Does Soup realize that? He's got no idea that he's this behind on eco. There's a Hundun is in, and this is another unit that can change things in this matchup. He's a very, very powerful boy. Pioneer's on the way. The Qinglong can be used to sort of counter this as Last Stand comes in. You have the Li Jing getting that stun in there. Targeting down the Yinglong with the Li Jing is very, very strong. This guy does so much damage. White Horse Cav checking out at the bottom side. Like I said, one of the most important things here for Magic is to get that map control in. Armory situation. That's value advantage Magic for the time being. There's the Naja coming in, and Yinglong staying alive, staying put, 670 HP alive there, and Soup gets pushed back yet again. He takes the fight while going up to Champion Cav. A little bit behind where that's concerned. Definitely could have waited on that big fight until he had the Champion Cav advantage, but the Tiger Cav will deal with these White Horse Cavalry. The Magic, it doesn't matter him throwing away them, because he's going to be replacing them. Do have an attempt at a gold mine getting grabbed over here from Soup. He's up onto this side as well with this gold mine. I think this game is just slowly but surely going over to Magic's side. He is just claiming every little bit of advantage. And now a ballet here. We were talking about how important this one is. He's going to be able to secure this town center and just be in for an amazing game. More raids coming in from Magic as he pulls to the corner, pulls back in, and just continues to get damage done. Into the center of the map. Wait, hold on. Oh, I see. So they both have the same HP. But with Last Stand, there's going to be an extra little bit of armor applied to the Tiger Cav. Now Magic getting himself the 4th talent center. He's going to be able to go up to 260 pop. And that's the thing is, in the Tiger Cav war, and in any sort of mirror war, where you're playing the same cavalry unit versus the same cavalry unit, well, numbers are what matters more than anything. Soup does get a nice little fight into the center here while this is all going on, and we do actually finally see the Great Flood. As Soup tried to angle that to send the Kwafu in to actually fight the Tiger Cab, but that's not going to happen. In comes Forest Protection. Both players have been holding on to that Forest Protection for quite some time here. And the Soup, well, the Soup God Power is done. That there was not the value he was really wanting, I think. And a whole bunch of Qinglong behind this are going to be coming in, as this is probably the only serious advantage that he's got remaining, is that, well, Qinglong can kind of help out, but it's 225 pop to 140. Soup obviously doesn't know this. He's still struggling to see what's happening on the map. There goes the lightning weapons. Vanish will finally get dropped down. Doesn't hit the villagers over here, however, as those are going to be falling. And lightning weapons does finish up. And I think I mean, maybe the Qinglong are going to be able to help out enough. I don't think so. All of the heroes do so much damage here. I mean, even it's just Neja with the special, or not the special, but the ranged attack. He's a menace. He's not actually targeting down the Qinglong, so maybe there's a chance here. Nope, no chance. All of Soup's stuff is dead. Gold mine secured. And Magic just continuing to apply pressure up onto the top side. Lots of actually low HP units as the Qinglong gets stolen away here, but trying to take out the Kwafu while this is all going on. It's 64 vills to 100. The raids have been kind of unrelenting while this is all going on as well. And Soup pulls back as the Qinglong will drop another special in. Still a serious amount of damage on those Qinglongs after they've been nerfed a billion times, but I don't think it's going to be enough as the Pioneers come in. The Sages come in. And Neja, well, he is in as well for all of the fun times. Can he not target the Ying? Like, he can't. Oh, that's the game. GG, well played from Magic. Neja has a passive special, right? The Universe Ring passive, and that sends the damage out, but you can't direct it, I think. Anyways, a good game from Magic. I think a lot of this came down to the sneaky town center grab, and of course Magic, Soup going for a somewhat greedy Mythic Age and kind of just got bullied by the white horse cav. I think if Soup had been a little bit more prepared, maybe with walls set up, just throwing up a wall here, a wall over here, and maybe into the main base and just locking off his actual, all of his base with some walls, I think he probably would have been fine with his Mythic Age. But he did also get there relatively unscathed, but he wasn't trying to secure this town center and this position. That's what he needed first and foremost. But nonetheless, Magic showing why Magic is Magic as he gets the win with the Fushi. Magic now one win away from finals shenanigans versus Matrius. Is this his week? Or can Soup force a game 5 here? Let's jump back to the draft and see what they're going to pick. Alrighty. Our next game is going to be on Elysium. And it's going to be a Thor versus Gaia matchup. And this does angle us into a very, very interesting game 5 if it so happens. So, Thor versus Gaia. There's a lot of ways that things go badly for Thor, but there's a lot of ways that things go really poorly for Gaia here as well. It's definitely an interesting matchup, a close matchup. Soup can open up with his fast Herser. He can go for his Dwarven Armory. I'm not exactly sure what he prefers to do at the moment, but I think I've heard him be on record that he doesn't really like the Dwarven Armory. I could be wrong. Like the Dwarven Armory opening is not something he likes to do anymore. Sets him too far behind, doesn't give him enough of an advantage. Whereas opening up with the fast Temple into early Herser at least gets him relics. Then he can just drop the Armory down later and start getting those upgrades in. I mean, one thing's for certain, Magic, he's got a really, really good Gaia. But he does very much tunnel vision in onto things like Contarius, onto trying to raid and trying to force fights and all that stuff. There's some world we're going Bragi here as Thor is probably pretty strong as well. That being said, I think Soup is so in love with his Skadi at the moment that I don't think he's probably going to go for Bragi here. Anyways, looking at the draft as well, it's very, very interesting to note that the last matchup is going to be on what map? Steppe. Last matchup on Steppe for a potential Huitzilopochtli versus Quetzalcoatl. That's kind of insane. It could be Susanoo. Magic could pick Susanoo if he wants to. Soup definitely won't pick Set. I think that's there as like a maybe just in case type deal. Nonetheless, big game here for Soup. I think if there is a situation where he's got an advantage going into the finals, not to take anything away from Matrius, he's been looking incredibly good, but Soup does appear to have Matrius's number in the past. Magic, on the other hand, I don't think he's ever lost to Matrius. Wait, both of these guys have never lost. Okay, never mind. Both players are very much wanting to get through here. Matrius has got that Cinderella run. He's running on a high of confidence inside of his own style. All right, guys. While I've got you all here and just trying to figure out what's going on, if you're new to the stream or for whatever reason you haven't been following, we're in our 4th playoff. There's 5 total. So there's one more next week. If Magic drops here or Soup drops here, don't worry. One more chance for them. Matrius won the other semi-final, so he's going to be giving his chance to get to Athens. It is a best of 7 for the finals. So there's a lot of games still to come today. On top of that, if you are enjoying the stream and you want to support and you want to do anything else, you feel free to donate, feel free to buy some merch, feel free to subscribe, become a member on YouTube. We've got a very large amount of YouTubers watching at the moment. We've got a peak today of 472 viewers on YouTube. That's insane. I'm pretty sure we're currently peaking on Twitch, so thanks everyone for the support. And also remember to put into your diary the actual LAN. 11, 12, 13th of September. That's when the LAN is. On top of this, throughout August, we do have some other events planned. I'm yet to announce what's going to be happening. We do have some events coming for August while we're waiting to prep for our Athens LAN as well. All right, guys. Patience is a virtue. Magic did have to restart his PC. I think he's actually moved today, or he moved yesterday. I don't know, but he's just moved. Alrighty, guys. Time for game number 4. Thor versus Gaia. Magic needs one more win. Can he do it? Let's jump into it. And off to the races we go. Right side of the map, Magic. Left side of the map, it is Soup. And he is opening with the Dwarven Armory. So, I've been lied to. He wants his Dwarven Armory. He wants to play it slowly here to kick this game off. Comes up, grabs a couple of goats as well, pigs as well. And we are off to the races. Let's check out the relics and see what's going to happen. We've got Tar's Scepter for some cheaper farms. Can be very, very important, especially for Gaia. Once you get to the classical age, you go up to irrigation, farming. That feels great if you get stuck with it. Maya Hules, Magay for the human soldiers having 5% refund on resources when they die. Hermes' Winged Sandals here for the movement speed of heroes plus 5%. And finally up onto the top, Tawara Todder's Last Arrow. Some pretty big relics here that I think Soup is really going to be missing out on as he does finish up his full herding shenanigans. And of course, Magic pokes his head in with the Oracle nice and early.
Herr Joes.
And he's going to be checking out this Dwarven Armory and seeing what's happening. So confirming that there's no crazy fast rush or anything like that, and then maybe Magic can play a little bit more, I don't know, economically greedy. He might be able to move forward and drop a mana here and be on the Gazelles super early outside of his base. Those sort of things are kind of an option, but we will be seeing a very quick temple coming through from Magic. Not very quick. A regularly sped up temple, a normal temple coming through from Magic as he's going to get his standard advance in. And I have to imagine we're going to see Oceanus here. Leto versus Thor. It's dubious at best. I think it can work, but it's probably the worst of the two options in this matchup. On the flip side, Forseti is normally what you see here from Thor. Normally. But Freya is somewhat of an option. As Soup is going for the full split here on the town center. I love these building layouts we're starting to see. From way back in the early days of Age of Mythology, everyone knew it was better to drop your temple out of your base to try and lock up your base and defend it, right? Everyone knew it was better to put houses around your sentry towers or put wall segments around your sentry towers to defend those so that you wouldn't take any losses where that's concerned. Now, as we've grown older and wiser, everybody knows it's better to build your temple, build your Dwarven Armory in safe places in order to set up walls and your base to be very, very safe. Nonetheless, up onto this top side, Magic is going for a second town center here. This is kind of wild. This might be what Soup wants to face, but Soup needs to get that micro or that scouting in as fast as possible. He's getting a little bit on the left side, a little bit on the right side. Relic situation from Magic thus far. He doesn't have a single Hero Oracle out, so Soup's going to be able to find something, but he doesn't see the town center. Pulls back to his main base. A longhouse will come up. You generally need to go for a longhouse regardless. You can't go straight for a second town center as Thor here. But now I think Magic is going to be in a position that he's very well accustomed to. Very, very happy to be in, which is playing defense. But Thor's got some of the best offense possible because you start off with basically a tech advantage and an eco advantage. So the timing hits really, really hard. That being said, Soup here really should have checked the town center at this point. He's charged forward with this Ursa, picked up Myakul's Magay, sees the town center over there. As the Berserk gets sent out again, trying to find something here. He does see the Murmillo hero in the middle. That's holding on to Hermes' winged sandals. Which is a huge relic here for Magic. And up. Berserk comes to just see if this settlement is up. He sees the Gaia Lush. He sees the town center. The town center sees him. And, losing the Berserk is not ideal. He's going to do some cheeky little dodges there and gets out. Nice movement there from Soup. But now Magic, well, he is out of his base looking for pressure. And pressure is what he's going to be able to get here. Wall's coming up onto this side really quickly from Soup to just defend himself. But I think Soup needs to get a town center here as soon as he possibly can. Either that, or he has to say, Heroic Age, Bragi, and let's go. Tawara Todder's last arrow here as well. That's a relic that I'm surprised to see Magic not grabbing as the wall's going to get knocked down over here. There is the troll on the back to help try and take out the Caladria, but that's always difficult to do. And Soup in this spot has decided aggression is the way to go. No second town center, no nothing, just full send. Armory situation. He's got enough there. He just needs that dwarven breastplate. As the Gaia Forest will get dropped onto the town center here. And I think that Magic needs to be thinking counter barracks and a Karabalasar or two. Just because he can, just a couple, just so he can play defense and not lose a town center to a big classical age push. As Berserks get back home. More Berserks coming in. And Magic getting some nice picks here is up to the top side. Soup, he's going to be going for that hunt. Of course, he should be going for the hunt as the citizens trying to sneak through over here. Yeah. Wouldn't mind seeing Soup dropping a wall like this onto this position. There's another mana coming down. Whoop. 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 Soup getting caught out here. When you're on one town center versus two town center and you lose villages, there isn't a worse situation. 5-speed Berserks. He's going to have to somehow prevent those from getting back home. There needs to be some sort of damage here. Berserk's coming in. Murmillo's on the back here. That is not going to be good for Soup. It's like looking like he just doesn't have anything at the moment. In comes Dwarven Breastplate. More Berserks are on the way. Troll ends up falling. Magic going to continue to try and get this situation sorted out as in comes the Murmillos on top of the Berserks, and we are now finally seeing the town center for Soup. He really hasn't done the damage in the slightest here, and Magic is going to have full control in this game moving forward. In comes the healing spring as the town center is up. Okay, so Soup's idea here is to go for a double town center behind this, which will give him some catch-up ability. But what Magic is going to be able to get here now is, simply put, a heroic age, most likely through Thea into Contarius raids. Now incoming. Will throw an Axeman. Walls up to the top here for Soup. You don't really have to invest a huge amount of infantry to do this. Just one to charge around the map and get your walls up is really, really good. There's the Caladria checking things out. Soup moving down to the bottom side. Is that going to be another town center? Surely not. Surely he doesn't. There's no way. When you greed really hard. Is the Soup way? Okay, he's not doing it. Okay, I thought he's got 600 wood, 350 gold. I thought he would. Main base though, charging him. We see rear actually from Magic, which is very, very strange. Rear gives him potentially the strongest fanatics he can get in the game, but so getting caught out here. He's charging over onto this spot, gonna try and kill this wall. You got to be careful with that next wall there, because I think it blows up the back one as well if it ends up dying. No, it doesn't. He's caught out here as the next wall comes in. Carnivora gets dropped down. Soup is very much caught out here as now the Citizen's going to get that repair in, and Soup loses all of those berserks while this is going on. He's going to be moving up to the top side, trying to break in to this position here to push off that gold, but this here is not ideal for Soup in the slightest. And onto this side, breaks the wooden gate down. We do have another... Well, an armory coming down here is in onto this position. The villagers will simply just run behind the wall. No problems. There will be a citizen kill, but that's about it. Great trap from Magic. The villagers can head back over onto the berry bushes if they like there. As the citizens will sneak back in onto this position, but will we get another blockage? Answer is no. As the throw and axe will come in and try and take out that back line. No ballistics in just yet for Soup. Hurts a little bit. He's got so much gold in the bank, though. But for the moment, Magic has got a really big military lead. And Soup, behind this, has found himself in a position that many Norse players will be very aware of, which is a very large, well, a very big lack of infrastructure. But for the moment, it is basically full Murmillo, full send, and I think Longhouses are the unit that Soup needs first and foremost. As the Great Halls will take a little bit of time to go down onto the backside of Market coming up, so Soup can do some Market macro. In comes the scary Magic army. Is there any way to defend this? Skadi on the way in the main base. Sacrificing the town center isn't the end of the world here, because Soup has sort of removed the villager deficit. But he definitely needs a large amount of military buildings here. And Soup going to be pulling back, trying to keep himself in one piece as the Magic Carabalis to control, looking very nice. Over onto this side, Dwarves getting caught out. They're going to have to pull into the main base. Villagers over onto the bottom side of the map, enjoying that, as we will see a palace coming up into the middle there. But Soup is having some difficulties for the time being. He is moments away from a heroic age. Frost isn't really going to help him a huge amount. The dwarves will swing down to the bottom side of the map. Military buildings here. 3 longhouses. 3 great halls. And the great halls over here are going to be falling. Is basically everything that Soup needs to do here is just spam buildings. Magic, on the other hand, I feel like he needs to think about a Mythic Age. Never mind. He is going Mythic Age. Hillfort coming through for Soup. And in comes the heavy infantry for Soup as well. Iron Mail also on the way. But this implode is going to be brutal. Houses, buildings falling left, right, and center. As Magic swings down to the bottom side with those scary looking Murmillos. And, well, Soup is caught out here. His army isn't around. Into the middle of the map for the time being. Red units coming through. And Soup on the hunt. Does get caught out. Lots and lots of dead villagers going to be coming through here. As we've got more walls coming up. I mean, these sort of raids just... You just can't have these sort of raids getting hit at the moment in these sort of game. In this part of the game is the Murmillo hitting the gold villagers over here as well. Huntress Axe coming through for the Thrown Axeman is a little bit of revenge fire to come onto those Murmillos, but this is something that Magic is going to be more than happy to deal with. Over onto this side, Berserk's taking the fight there. No problems there as the Frost Giant gets converted away. So get pulled back. Atlas is almost in for Magic. He is in a commanding position at the moment. As the villager advantage no longer close for Soup. All these Berserks on this side up against all those Murmillo. And the Caladria healing them up. What can Soup do now? Dwarven Mine. Oh, main town center is going down as well. And Soup sees the Atlas and goes, that's game over. What a finish from Magic. Catching, I mean, this game was, from a strategic standpoint here, from Soup, I actually like what he did. Heavy pressure into a double town center grab. That's fine. That's good. Where this went awry was, one, this attack over here. If your opponent has got something walled off and you run behind it, you're asking yourself to get trapped. This is something that just happens in this game. You've got to be careful. Break the wall down. Drop your own wall here so he can't wall you in. Gives you an exit. And all that other good stuff. But even after that, I think that Soup was still okay here. But he dropped 3 great halls rather than just a bunch of longhouses and going into his Thrown Axeman angle. I'm not sure what the great halls were about outside of going for Jarls, which didn't really make sense. There was still a Frost available as well that he could have dropped onto those Murmillo when they came in and hit the villagers. Drop Frost, come in, surround, at the very least kill off some units before Implode kills you, and then you get to continue along in the game for a little bit. But nonetheless, a well-played series from Magic. He is going on to the finals to meet Matrius. So we got another M versus M affair for our final game here for the playoff round, for the playoff 4 for our Gameathlon Road to Athens. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take the shortest of breaks here. And we'll see you guys in about 15 minutes. Don't you guys go nowhere. Whistler Putchley Incarnate is here. The new fire ceremony